All right, what's up, guys? I am live, I think. Not really sure. Guess we'll find out in a minute or so. But it is after hours, and I think, I am so thrown off right now. I think the thumbnail reflects that. So I just wanted to take some time, go over the market, and give you guys kind of my thoughts and predictions on what might happen next week. Obviously, it could go either way, and then also want to take some time just to look at the news, and yeah, whatever else comes up. Nothing too hard planned. I prefer to stream during live market hours, but I've been very busy the last couple days, so here I am right now. And I said I was gonna stream, so just wanted to stick to my word and let you guys know that I am definitely gonna be here and be consistent. So right now we are just looking at. If I get my mouse to work. I'm not sure if you guys can hear a weed eater in the background. I think maybe not. But anyways, we're looking at SPY. Let's just take a look, zoomed out a little bit here. And as you can see, man, a beautiful bounce, nice cup filled right here, and I guess we're filling the handle out. I wouldn't be surprised if next week what happens is a little bit of a pullback, probably somewhere around that 560 range, maybe a little bit further while that handle builds, and then a continuation. Or, it could just keep ripping and past 564. I think we just passed 560, yeah, 563.03 today. So, um, we are making progress. It's pretty crazy. So many people scared of a recession, which I don't know, who knows, it could happen. But the market seems to not care at all. It's just continuing to run. So it shall be interesting. But those last, 3, 4 days, pretty dramatic. And I know I talked about possibly chopping around in this zone right here. So far we have continued nicely, even in those off hours. And if you're holding a swing trade, man, that thing probably printed. Even with VIX crushing, with this kind of move upwards, if you're trading anything, a week or more out, you probably did pretty well with it. As long as they weren't too far out of the money. But yeah, pretty nice to see, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. This is all-time high right here, and we are just $1.40 away from it or so, $1.37. And I think we could hit 570 very, very soon. Obviously, one step at a time, 565 and so on. But, pretty impressive movement in the market. Excuse me. But yeah, this is a little bit trickier after hours. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So I'm hopefully you don't hear that weed eater. I feel like it's right in my ear, but it's a little further than that. Um, let's see. And I had some other stuff I was going to write down. Should have been a little bit more prepared. I think this weed eater is really distracting me right now. Sorry guys, hopefully it's not too loud. I'm trying to see if it registers. So I'm gonna be quiet for just 3 seconds. I mean, I don't see the mic moving from it, so I think we're good. But man, that is so annoying. So yeah, after hours right now, and yeah, I'm a little thrown off. Let's take a look at the news, shall we? Take a look at the money section in Apple News, see what is going on. Too much big tech can make for a risky portfolio. How this advisory helps protect its clients. Now, you guys tell me, do you trust those faces? I don't know. I don't know anything about those guys. I just don't like this picture. Honestly, that's not my style. Yeah. Now, maybe I'm being a little too judgmental here. I don't know. But I'm live streaming. You guys are going to get more of a sense of the real me. Not saying I'm judgy or anything, but I do I do critique some pictures, that's for sure. Like for example, I don't like the sweater on this guy. Seems a little too small in my opinion. My opinion. Um, my husband blew a gasket. I bought a $20,000 Toyota SUV using financing. Paid off immediately. Did I get a bad deal? Well, let me tell you guys, I recently worked at a car dealership, And seeing how much some people are willing to pay for interest over time is absolutely mind blowing. It would shock most people, especially now interest rates are so high. I do not recommend buying a car, but hey, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. These are just my opinions. But that's kind of how I feel about that. Here's what Dave Ramsey has to say to people who are concerned about the election. And I'm not going to get into politics. Why this fall may outrank summer as the year's hot home buying market. That could be interesting. I don't know how many of you guys are homeowners. I don't know how many of you guys are even watching right now, to be honest. And I know YouTube is got me in its firm grasp right now. So you two help me out, man. Send this out to the people. That's all I ask. I will be here consistent, I swear. I know it takes time, but man, it can be frustrating. And I'm trying my best to stay on the rails as best I can without feeling crazy talking to myself. So, what you guys are witnessing is my greatest social experiment. Mortgage, I'm just scrolling without reading. I'm sorry. Not doing a great job here. So, why this fall may outrank summer as the year's hot home buying market. If interest rates drop, hey, that would be great. I'm sure there'll be lots of home buying and selling. I know we're basically waiting for things to settle like that. It's just not a good time. If you're currently in a great interest rate, it's like it makes zero sense to buy a house with high interest. You can get the same payment for much less house. Falling mortgage rates and increased housing inventory may keep potential homebuyers busy in the coming months, shifting the normal summer buying season into later in the year, Zillow reports. So I think normally summer is kind of a high time of the year where there's a lot of buying of houses, probably because it's easier to move in the summer. I know I live in Washington and it is nasty in the wintertime. Not a great time to move. Not to mention it gets dark at like 4:35, which totally sucks. I can deal with the coldness, the rain, but when it comes to the sun setting that early, it's just pretty lame. Even if you wake up, at 5 and you're awake for the entire duration of the sun being out, it's just not enough. So if you're not from Washington, the reason a lot of us are so white is probably because it's raining, and when the sun is out, you don't see it much. But anyways, no one gives a shoot about that. And I'm trying not to swear, you guys. I'm a little sailor sometimes. Housing market conditions are moving in favor of buyers as real estate experts see the home buying season shift away from a normally busy summertime into the fall. With mortgage rates falling this year, the housing market may see more activity after facing a year of elevated mortgage rates and limiting housing inventory. Easy borrowing costs may not only tempt buyers, but could potentially encourage more locked in home buyers to put their properties up for sale. That's basically what I was saying. That's what we are. Anticipated. Well, I don't locked in. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we are locked into a great mortgage or a great interest rate. Anticipated cuts to interest rates next week may drive down mortgage rates even further, and more inventory coming to the market could have potential buyers busy house hunting in the coming months, Zillow reports. Affordability has improved substantially for homebuyers, and competition among them could extend into the fall instead of fading away, as is typical at this time of year, the report says. Okay, interesting. So it just got dead quiet in here. So they think it's going to continue on into the fall. Now, I was assuming they were talking about next summer into the fall, but maybe they were talking about this year, and because the interest rates are still high right now, so maybe I should continue to read. Mortgage rates. Sorry, I was thinking, who wrote this? By Terry Lane. Okay, shout out to Terry Lane. I don't know if that's a male or female Terry, but hey, my name is Pat, and I know there's men and women Pat, so one of them names. I don't think there is any people probably younger than 55 or 60 that's a female with the name Pat, unless maybe it's always been Patricia. I don't know. Anyways, mortgage rates make homes affordable again. Several factors were moving in favor of homebuyers, starting with mortgage rates, which have moved low enough to make home ownership affordable again. After being over 7% in September of last year, they have dropped close to a full percentage point. All right, are we really bragging about close to a percentage point? 6.29% for a 30-year. That's that's not good. I don't know what they're talking about. I would not be happy about a 6% interest rate on a house. If it was a car, credit card, a house, no. Really bragging about a point, what, like a 0.7% move in interest. Okay. Okay, go on. Late summer may be an opportunity for buyers who have been waiting in the wings. When I read things like this, it makes me wonder, like, what does this person like? What is their bias exactly? I mean, everyone has a bias, of course. I have a bias, in everything, in all aspects, whatever it might be. But it does make you wonder when you're reading articles like this. Man, I am sorry. I just keep clearing my throat. Okay, market homes on the market. Another positive sign for potential homebuyers is increased inventory, with 1.18 million homes now in the market, the most since September 2020. Hmm. Also, 26% of the listings saw price cuts in August, which was relatively high for the fall season, the Zillow report noted. More inventory is becoming available. All right, I'm getting bored of this. What else we got? I'm just going off the rails right now. Unless someone wants to let me know something specifically that they want to take a look at, I'm just kind of hanging out. Just doing some time here with you guys. Um, how much money will you need for a comfortable retirement? Let's see what they have to say about that. I think it really depends on what state you're going to retire in or what country. They require, well, this is not US dollar. I don't know how many of you guys watch outside the US. It's probably less than 10%. But if you're not, hey, 43,100 euro, I believe. And if that's wrong, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. To fund comfortable existence, how much pension do you need as a minimum for your retirement? Now, research from the Resolution Foundation think tank suggests that the answer is 60% more than you would have needed just 3 years ago. The cost of living crisis means that someone retiring in 2024 needs around 107,800 in pension savings to be confident they can sustain. That is insane. What do you mean? 60% more than you would have needed 3 years ago? That's not sustainable whatsoever. I mean, if you're retired and you had a certain amount of money, I apologize. Let me just mute this so I can really clear. Anyways, back to the rant. If you were retiring and say you didn't know anything really about investing or things like that, and you're just really planning to sit on, a certain pile of money that's gaining a certain specific amount of interest, whether it's 2 to 5% or 1%, depending on your bank and situation. With something like that happening, that immediately puts so many people that are retired right back to work, so quickly. That's insane. That is actually mind blowing. I mean, that's it. I'm just gonna leave now after that. Just joking. Don't leave. My goodness. My throat. I am sorry. Let's move on though from that. That is crazy. The worry. I'm trying to briefly skim through here. I apologize. The figures are based on the foundation's assessment that a pensioner today needs around 19,300 of income a year to be sure they can cover all their costs. Around 11,500 of that would stem from the pension, assuming the pensioner has made sufficient national insurance contributions to qualify for the full amount, but the rest would need to be generated by an income from a private pension. Yeah, so basically what I was just talking about, that's insane. Or you have to go back to work. And for some people, it's not physically possible. The worry that that is generating a fund of that size may not. Did I read that right? The worry is that generating a fund of that size may not be possible for many workers on modest incomes. The Resolution Foundation suggests that a worker needs to make 2,800 of pension contributions each year during their careers to hit its target, the equivalent of more than 230 a month. So yeah, basically what I was just saying, it's just in much longer form. And I feel like I've never cleared my throat more in my life, my entire life, in all my 23 years. That's a hangover quote. Just so you guys know. Hopefully you don't think that I think that I look 23. But man, pretty crazy. What else we got here? There was some stuff I think I was gonna go over with you guys, but I think I'll save a lot of it just for Monday when I'm here for Power Hour. And I know that's when way more people are watching and expect to see anything related to the stock market. So right now I'm just trying to have some fun. Maybe going through the news isn't the best way. But this is the money, so it is relevant to us. I don't know about Martha Stewart, but who did she endorse? Who cares? He didn't realize Jeff Bezos was buying his 80 million Indian Creek home. Now he's suing. Okay, don't care. Maybe under Investopedia. I should probably follow that. Following. Again, gonna clear my throat. I'm sorry. Oh, what's up, James? All right, let me pull this chat over so I can see the full screen. Do you think we will pull back Monday before interest rates cut Wednesday? Yeah, I do think there's a good chance of that. Looking at the hour chart, it looks like we are setting up for a cup and handle. So I wouldn't be surprised if we pulled back somewhere around this range, possibly to 558, and then build up support and then explode from there, given that, the news is positive, which I think most of what this is the market reacting ahead of the news, buy the rumor, sell the news type situation. So that's usually what you'll see. And then, given if the information is what people expected, you probably won't see a whole lot of a move. But if it's even better than expectations, that's when I'd expect, some bigger moves. But again, you never know. But that's just what I've seen in the past, with those moves. But yeah, it should be pretty interesting, what happened. So, Monday, commercial paper. But going over to Wednesday, I'll definitely be live streaming the FOMC meeting. I think it starts at 11. So pretty sure I don't have any appointments or anything going on, so I will be streaming early that day and probably longer, just so we can see what Jerome Powell's, what he has to say. It should be pretty interesting. And watching the market, I'll probably try to trade it too, which I don't recommend. It can be pretty dicey, but I'm gonna have some fun. We'll see what happens. Um, Yeah, no problem, James. If you have any more questions, happy to help. If there's anything else you want to look at, man, I'm just chilling. I know it's after hours, so, getting ready for the weekend and everything. I'm excited. I do have to wake up early tomorrow for my daughter's cheerleading, which is fun, but it sucks having to wake up early on the weekend, but it is what it is. I'm very excited and very proud of her, so pretty cool, but, how it is. All I know is my throat is just killing me right now. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. I don't know if you guys are holding Bitcoin at all, but it looks like it is running right now. That's interesting. The all-time high on Bitcoin. Let's take a look at that. I haven't checked that in a minute. So it was 73,826. Pretty, that's really not that far away. Sorry, I'm gonna clear my throat again. Yeah, the cool thing about cheerleading also is you get to watch football, so that's exciting. There's little kids playing, but it's still cool. You can still get into the game. So luckily I do like football. So yeah, it's fun for sure. Good times. It's just crazy how fast kids grow. That's for sure. So Bitcoin is coming up kind of on resistance. I wouldn't be surprised if it slows down around this 60,500 range. But really maybe 61,000 would probably be that better number. And I'm just gonna draw some lines on here just for fun. I used to have a bunch on here. They're probably lower down at this point. I just got so I got so messy looking because I had lines everywhere. I looked like I was solving a crime. That's insane. Yeah, I think interest rates cuts definitely helping Bitcoin. You know, there's like seasons where Bitcoin and the market will run pretty close, pretty lockstep, and then other times will they break apart. I think we're in one of those times where they're more in tune right now with each other. And also, there hasn't been any really negative news about crypto in quite a while. You know, I think they shook out a lot of the scams, and of course, there's probably always going to be pump and dumps with small coins. But as far as Bitcoin, I think it has, you know, it's pretty safe. And I think a lot of the politicians have supported it too. So it's been crazy to watch. I mean, just look at the weekly chart. It is insane. And who's to say where it will be in the future? I mean, obviously people throw out crazy numbers, but I remember watching a video when it hit $100 or something. There's a video online of a guy. Actually, maybe we could watch it. That might be fun. When it hit $100, and it's crazy. And I first bought it in 2018, and I think it was around 2 or 3 thousand. And man, if I was able to just stack, you know, 10 grand at that point and hold it, that would have been insane. Or even lower, but that's about when I started trading. It was 2018 sometime. And then also Dogecoin, which I haven't looked at in quite a while. I have a crypto watch list. Crypto, man, I used to day trade Dogecoin. I know a lot of people have definitely not done that, especially in a long time. I'm sure more people were doing it back when I did it. But there was a while, you know, during this time, if you look at the daily chart, you can see a little better where it was so volatile and moving so well. 2023? No, further. Back in like 2021, I think. Yeah, because it started moving around January. It had a huge explosion. But this whole time frame right here, I was just day trading it, just watching the chart and the pattern. It was fun, man. And then eventually, you know, that that excitement came crashing down. I think it was on SNL night. Pretty nuts. Yeah, Doge, and it's only at 10 cents now. So I mean, I took profit, you know, long before it pulled way back. Obviously, I didn't. Well, not obvious, but I did not time the top. That would have been nice. But I think I mostly got out around 50, 60 with the majority of what I had, and then I've traded it here and there since then. But yeah, I know Elon Musk has been pushing it kind of a lot recently, which, you know, it hasn't really moved a lot from it. So I guess that's good and bad because when it does move, then they won't blame, you know, other people for it, or blame him for manipulating it or whatever it might be. But at the same time, I used to have his notifications on Twitter, and he would tweet about it, and I would just go wait for it because it would pop immediately. I'd wait for a little pullback and buy in it, and then ride that wave a little bit. And as soon as the momentum slowed down, take profit, and it was just rinse and repeat for a while. And you could actually see, you know, over time the power of his tweets just weaken and weaken and weaken, and until we are to where we are now, where I think he might have tweeted about it the other day, and it didn't barely move at all. So, pretty interesting to watch play out though. And then also Shiba. Shiba was another great one. Got in pretty early on that one. I think as soon as I was able to buy it, because I had traded Doge before, I was like, all right, this could be another Doge. I know it's basically a copycat and could be a complete waste of money, but that played out well, as you can see. I mean, I think, I don't know, my account probably went up like 3 or 4,000% from that thing. It was pretty wild. So hopefully one day we can see some, you know, exciting crypto times again, but I'm not going to hold my breath for it. That's for sure. And if you guys don't know, you can trade, you know, just the ETF of it if you don't want to trade actually crypto, or if you don't have a crypto account. You know, this is a way that you can, you know, wet your beak a little bit with it in the actual market with BITO. So yeah, it'll be pretty interesting to see how that plays out too. Maybe I should set some alerts. You know, I guess it doesn't really matter. I could just set them on crypto, but hey, I'm here. And yeah, everything is moving and grooving up 4%. Solana, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Let's see if you can even look it up on here. I don't even think you can buy. Yeah, actually, you can't even buy crypto on Webull anymore. And when you could, it was trash, not good. The executions were horrible, and the bid ask was really bad. When I did day trade it, I actually did it on Robinhood, and it would give me pretty good entries and exits. Yeah, Solana looking pretty good, pretty similar to the other ones. And there's so many other ones too. I have some random ones on my crypto account. I think I might have sold them. What else? I feel like I used to know so much more about these other ones too. Like there's so many little nuanced projects going on with them, and they all claim to do different things or support different things, and it's like I don't know how anyone keeps up with all of it. It is a lot. But yeah, Solana, I mean, it's about at resistance right along with Bitcoin, and it looks like it can continue. So that is a more affordable one for sure. And I know, you can see it's had some pretty nice moves in the past too. I mean, that's crazy actually. Hold on. 259, it's only 20 right now. So if it recovered, which who knows if it will, but I mean Bitcoin basically Bitcoin has multiple times when people thought it wouldn't. Um, but yeah, I mean, it came down 1,200%. Well, actually, it would be different if you went down. But this could be $1,000 or 1,000% gain if you buy it, you forget about it. Who knows? It could also fizzle out though. It hasn't had a lot of movement. But we'll see. It's something to keep you on your list for sure. Litecoin was pretty cool too. I remember when this was like $5. Yeah, that made a nice run. Oh man. Yeah, there was a time when I was holding most of these all at once. Now I've got it down to Bitcoin and a little bit of Doge and Shiba and what I'm actually holding, and it's mostly Bitcoin. Everything else I've cut losses or taken profit on over time. A lot of them I've gotten in and out of, overall profitable, but yeah. Look at that volatility though. I do love that. There's potential. Definite potential. But man, again, let's go back to Bitcoin and compare. It just looks so much better, right? Bitcoin looks way stronger overall. I think people are just more confident in it. They don't think it's going to be banned at any point. Um, let's see here. Yeah, the news on Nasdaq an hour ago. Let's see what it says here. Bitcoin surges to 60,000 as markets brace for potential Fed rate cut. Climbed back to 60, fueled by anticipation of a Fed Reserve interest rate cut expected next week. Bitcoin's rally comes as markets prepare for the possibility of a 25 to 50 basis point rate reduction, a move that many believe could further boost Bitcoin and risk-on investments. So yeah, this is people in preparation for that potential rate cut. So hopefully we get it. I mean, we need it. It is time. It's long overdue. Ah, it seems like I've been beating this horse forever of the interest rates. It looks like I'm having a little bit of a YouTube error. Not receiving enough video to what? I don't know. I think I'm good though. I'm just gonna keep going on. Earlier this summer, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell hinted that a rate cut could come as early as September. Speaking on June 12th, Powell noted that the central bank would consider lowering rates once they were confident inflation was moving back toward their 2% target. This week's announcement that U.S. inflation has dropped to 2.5%, lower than expectations, has potentially paved the way for such a move. Um, Should we watch this? Is it gonna play?
Question will be whether the totality of the data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks are consistent with rising confidence on inflation and maintaining a solid labor market. If that test is met, a reduction in our policy rate could be on the table as soon as the next meeting in September.
Well, you heard the man. We will see. We shall see. So I've been going for about a half hour. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really wanted to cover before, I wrap it up for the day. Um, I don't know. I'm kind of drawing blanks right now, to be honest with you guys. But I ain't giving up yet. So if you guys have any ideas or questions, some say it'll be 50. Well, I hope so. The more the merrier. Let's cut this. Let's bring that interest rate down. I would. I'm always scared to search things on Twitter when I'm streaming, because my God, it can just. You never know what's coming next on there, whether it's an animal or something violent or something nudie. You never know. It is crazy. Um, Bitcoin Magazine. What are they all about? Hopefully this is safe. All right, Bitcoin Magazine. Never heard of it. They got a lot of followers though. Makes sense. Um, 2011. Just in a half hour ago, BlackRock did 1.1 billion in trading. Okay, so the ETF IBIT did a billion. So it's pretty active right now. Like we were just looking at. I mean, you can see it had that pop. Where'd it go? Come on. Let's go back to like the 15-minute chart. Yeah, and it started popping around 11:30, 12 and making new highs as I speak. People are excited, not a bad time to be a Bitcoin holder, that's for sure. 60,000? That's strong. I remember the first time we hit 60,000. Feels like yesterday. Bitcoin's growing up so fast. Poof, look at that. Big candle. That is a beautiful, beautiful technical breakout. And here we go. So next level of resistance, I think Bitcoin will really come across is probably 61, as you can see right here on this blue line. And I want to change this line. What color should I make it? Gold? Maybe gold. We'll lock that in. If I don't lock it, so often I'll end up dragging it and moving it somewhere on accident. Next thing you know, my TA is thrown off because I really rely on those lines. The more zoomed in I am, that way I don't have to go back and be like, oh wait, where was that level at? What was that number? You can just remember based off those lines. Because obviously when you zoom out, you can see, oh, that's where that line came from. I understand. But when you're so zoomed in, it just seems like a random line above. But yeah, so that's how I use the technical lines, whether it's for Bitcoin futures, options, doesn't matter. I analyze the charts basically the same, and I just try to keep it simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. So many people overcomplicate analyzing the markets, and they want you to think that you have to pay for whatever just so you can figure out how to read the charts, and it's just keep it simple. you know Look for those levels, set those lines of resistance, watch it play out. You don't want to, if you've never been in a trade before, don't jump right in. Watch it play out, take a guess, be like, all right, this is what I think will happen when it hits here, and see if that's actually what happens. Or you can paper trade, that's always another option. But yeah, just be smart about it, you know. But also remember, no risk, no reward. So there's so much money to be made, whether it's in Bitcoin or just day trading SPY. Bitcoin I think is probably going to be a great long-term investment. Again, not a financial advisor, but I think it definitely will be. Because I mean, even if you FOMO'd and bought at 60 a long time ago, here it is. You're at least break even at this point. Maybe you're not sweating as much. And when it did pull back recently, I don't think it got that bad. It hit 49, just below 50, And you can see my previous lines of support here. I made this one red, actually, I remember, because that was a that was a critical line right there. You don't want to break that level, because then I would expect a big pullback. But there it is. You zoom out further, you can really get an understanding to why you see that price action, why you see big moves. The less volume traded in a price range, the bigger a move you're gonna see. Yeah, so now here a helicopter. I live pretty close to a base, so sometimes, I swear to God, it sounds like Call of Duty outside. And I don't hate it, but because I do like Call of Duty, but it can be a bit aggressive when they're doing bomb testing. Even though it's miles and miles away, those bombs are so loud. And then they'll be sending out night copters sometimes. I'm like, my God, what kind of missions are you training for? But yeah, pretty aggressive. But that's what I think Bitcoin will do. And then again, just to go back to SPY to kind of put a bow on this. Um, oh wait, I think earlier I might have said 564 was the high. I forgot we're kind of triple topping right now if you look at the weekly chart. So let's look at the daily. So we hit 564 here, rejected, but then bounced pretty strongly off this. And I think this is, people hearing the rumors of the interest rate cut, and now here we are a few days later. I think there's a good chance we explode past 565 and head towards 570. Maybe stop at 569 because that's the way people are. I wouldn't be surprised to see some action around there. But, it is pretty interesting to see, and I'm actually really excited for this next meeting. First live stream of the meeting should be fun. It will definitely be exciting, whether the market's going up or down. It's going to be volatile, and I'll be here for it. So that's about all I have for the day. Thanks so much, James and chat. Appreciate you, man, big time. Hope you have a great weekend. Hope everyone else watching has a great weekend. And I will see you guys for Power Hour, maybe a little earlier on Monday. We'll see. But at the very least, I'll see you for Power Hour, and I hope you have a great weekend.